you all know, my name is Jasmine Tarashan. I'm from the University of Massachusetts, Boston. My topic is entitled Patterns in Linguistic and Mathematical Concepts. It's a proposed curriculum for Spanish-speaking English language learners in Boston Public Schools. I know that's a mouthful, but my topic is in the realm of education, but at a very micro level. I know we've talked about a lot of macro stuff, especially at the meeting yesterday with the National Education Association. But mine kind of deals with the exchange of information between teachers and students and how we can be more efficient in that respect. Okay, so just very briefly, I'm going to go through these slides really quickly. Why is education important? Human capital, for the other economists in the room don't know what that is, but basically it's the all the knowledge and skills combined that one person has. If a society does not have human capital in their population, they're not going to prosper at all. Also, a quality education has individual and collective benefits that you can see here that is just in general. So my literature review, I actually paid a lot of attention to Jamal Al-Beidi. He's out in California, I think, and he did a lot of, he did about 3 reports with the NAEP, the National Assessment Education Group. They kind of just assess standardized tests. And they saw that in math problems that there was kind of an access barrier. Students were dwelling on stuff in linguistics like passive voice and vocabulary, and they could not solve the problem because they were thinking about, well, what does this mean? I don't even know what they're asking me, and they couldn't solve the problem. So passive voice in Spanish, passive voice is not used very often. It's a little foreign, especially to Spanish speakers, ELL Spanish speakers. Also hard to access vocabulary. One quick example is, for example, the word streamers. In a math problem, Susie was having a birthday party and she wanted to hang streamers from the room. And for an ELL Spanish speaker, they might know the word stream, which is a body of water, but they can't connect up the streamers. So I'm going to also talk a little bit about developing English intuition is what I call it, and I'll talk about that just a little bit. Also culture, for example, in other countries, an apple is usually green, and then in the United States it's represented with a red color. So just little nuances like that can throw them off, and they can't solve the problem that's presented to them, and they dwell on that, they lose time, they can't go through all the problems, etc. So this is kind of the landscape. This is the population I'm working with, Boston Public Schools, school year 2009. There's about 60,000 students, and just here, the Spanish-speaking ELLs, English language learners, make up about 12–13% of the population in Boston Public Schools. Like as everybody said before, this research is needed in the teen population to continue to grow. So, I just want you to keep in mind a question. How do you learn? How do you transmit what you learn? Just keep that in mind. So what I want to provide to students is a flexible tool that has nothing to do with memorization, doesn't have to do with practice. It's about identifying patterns. There's patterns in language, there's patterns in math that are similar. Everybody knows a language. That is everybody's foundation for learning something. So the next slide, semantics and syntax. Maybe you guys don't know what this means, maybe you do, great. But these are concepts in language that everybody understands inherently. And if you can label that and organize your knowledge, it's a lot easier to communicate about your uncertainties about semantics and syntax. So once you label it, organize your knowledge, it's easier to talk to the teacher about this. I don't get this, so it's a lot easier. So right here, this is talking about semantics. Semantics has to do with meaning. So right here, syntactically, the structure of the sentence, it's perfect. The adverb is in the right spot. Subject-verb agreement is correct, but semantically, it has no meaning. Sorry, I'm going really fast. So I'm doing good. Everybody understands this. It has a meaning. It has a semantic meaning, but syntactically, no good. I'm doing well. So this is what the curriculum starts with. I'm just talking about the concepts that the curriculum will be based on. I don't have it yet. But so this is kind of where it starts. Organizing knowledge, labeling knowledge so that there's an easy transfer of knowledge in the classroom. So these are some concepts that I have identified. substitution in language, you can see this in a conversation. Let's say you have like a really long thing, like maybe it's like Mary's aunt's mother's daughter. You're not going to say that, you might say your name, but you're not going to say that whole thing. You're going to substitute it with a simpler word, like her, a pronoun. So there's movement here. So you can look at the animation. So Mary's daughter, it moves. There's a substitution. At school, you can go even further and substitute it even more with their. So these are pronouns that simplify language, and it's substituted. You'll find this in math. I'll show you later on. Also, there's movement, especially when you want to just simplify stuff, or you said or something already before. There's also movement. There's also substitution going on, but there's movement as well. So Alexa is moving in the sentence structure here in Sue's book. So this is substitution in math. I'm sure you guys have seen this on your SATs. You've seen this. Given that you're substituting a variable for a number, happens, and then you can solve the problem. Just how you substituted Mary's daughter with her. Okay? And movement and math, combining like terms. I'm sure you've seen this. Magnitude. So I talked to my mother today, and I yelled at my mother today. They give you two very different scenes in your mind, just like math does. 2 and -15, one's bigger than the other. There's magnitude because they have a different size and a different sign. So my recruiting sample, students in both schools have taken the MCAS. The MCAS is the standardized testing in the state of Massachusetts. It's like Massachusetts Comprehensive Assessment System, something like that. And labeled English language learner. I'm not going to get into the process of how they label and identify them, but we'll do that later, or not today. Is a Spanish speaker in the 4th grade. How am I going to get this sample? Even though they're about like 12 or 13%, some of them might not be accessible, they might not know their rights or their parents, so I'm going to have promotional flyers with information sessions. Again, I haven't done this research, this is all proposal. So I'm going to have convenient weekly or monthly information sessions at various times. Recruiting teachers. How can a curriculum be implemented without teachers? You have to have teachers that understand the curriculum. So I'm going to partner up with Dr. Donaldo Macedo. He is UMass Boston Graduate Linguistics Director, and he's been recently given a grant. And the teachers who are recruited into this program can take the certificate for free. And these are my references and acknowledgments. And I just want to leave you with just kind of like a brief overview. I want to provide students with a flexible tool so that they take the foundation that they have in language. They identify concepts that they see in math. And there's that bridge so that Al-Beatty, which is used in one of my references, talks about how test scores are not, reading is awesome and then math is down here. No, they go hand in hand. So these concepts is going to bridge that gap and bring the scores up, both at a time. After that, they see that they can do math. I want them to become lifelong learners. I want them to see that they have an interest in the STEM fields, like Mario was talking about, need them. So this is a way to spark that interest. Like you were talking about with, they want easy money, dirty money, it's easy. This is because maybe they're impatient. So if they see right away, I understand these concepts, I can bridge the gap, and I see results right away, they'll more likely to be in education and stick with academia than go with easy money. Because I haven't proven this, but hopefully that this program or this kind of curriculum will see results right away, if at the very least will boost their confidence. That's what I hope to achieve here. So thank you.